sports always come first. This is Action 4 Sports.
Hello, Rio Grande Valley High School football fans. Action 4 Sports Director Clay Williams with you for Week 1 and the picks that go with it. Well, let's just tell you, in Week 0, we started off going 16-6 in 22 games. Our biggest loss of the week has to be Juarez-Lincoln at Raymondville, where we picked the Huskies. Instead, it was the Bearcats in a bit of a rout. But let's get to it and try to do better this week. Let's start on Thursday night, and let's start with Laredo LBJ at Juarez-Lincoln. I do have the Huskies making a comeback there and a win over LBJ. PSJ North is at McAllen Rowe. Rowe puts up a big 60 spot last week. I've got the Warriors winning that one. McAllen Memorial's first game of the year is at Economides. I've got that Mustang defense coming away with a win there. Small schools. It is Ben Bolt at La Serra. That's right, the Lions playing a varsity game against Ben Bolt. That's going to be a tough one to win. I've got Ben Bolt winning that one. Monterrey, it is Nuevo Leon. It is the Tigres. It is not the Leones. It is not the Borregos. It is Nuevo Leon's Tigres, and they are playing at Brownsville-Hanna on Thursday night. That one's going to be tough. Nuevo Leon just almost came close to beating Round Rock Stony Point, the number 4 team in the state last week. So I've got the Tigres getting the win over the Golden Eagles there. So let's move to Friday. It's Rio Grande City at La Jolla. I've got the 4A Rattlers getting a win at the 5A Coyotes. Mission Veterans. The city battle continues, and I've got Mission Veterans and Adrian Morales winning that one. Edinburgh is at Mac High. I believe the Bobcats will win at Memorial Stadium. Sharyland takes on Edinburgh North in Edinburgh. The Rattlers keep it rolling with a win there. Raymondville is at Hidalgo. The Bearcats looked good last week. They should look good in beating their second straight 4A team in Hidalgo. Los Fresnos is at PSJA. PSJA's first game of the year. Los Fresnos coming off the big win over Del Valle, but I've got the Bears winning that one. Brownsville Rivera at Donna. Donna just keeps on rolling along. I've got the Redskins winning at home. San Benito is at Weslaco East. What a tough game for the Greyhounds to start with. I've got Weslaco East and the Wildcats coming away with the victory. Rio Hondo is at Ed Couch Elsa, and what it could be a matchup of the best 4A and the best 3A teams in the Valley. I've got the 4A team coming up on top with the Yellow Jackets and the win. Santa Rosa will be at La Villa in the Sugar Bowl, and the Warriors should come out on top in that one. La Feria at Mercedes, maybe a bit of an upset. I've got La Feria coming away with the win after their big comeback victory last week against Hidalgo. Mercedes still a little injured after their loss against Weslaco. Defense looks tough, but I've got La Feria coming away with the win. Brownsville St. Joseph will play at Progresso, and I've got the Bloodhounds winning against the Red Hands. Brownsville Pace will be at Harlingen South, and this one a tough one for Pace after their big overtime win last week against Edinburgh North, but I've got the Vikings coming away with the victory over the Hawks at Bogus Stadium. Bruni will take on Harlingen Marine Military Academy at Bowman Stadium in a 7 o'clock start on Friday, and I've got the Leathernecks coming away with a win in their first game of the year. It is Lyford at Port Isabel in a matchup of former 3A rivals. I've got the Bulldogs coming away with the win by the Bay. Palmview, La Jolla Palmview will take on Brownsville Porter at Sam Stadium. Palmview looked good last week. I've got them with the win again this week. And finally, Corpus Christi Miller will be at Brownsville Veterans in what will be Veterans' first ever varsity game. Miller is bringing their varsity, and I've got Veterans coming away with a win as a 4A team over the 3A Miller. Now, out of the Valley on Friday, it will be Roma at Zapata. I see no reason why the Gladiators won't go 2-0 in that one. Valley View is at Laredo Nixon. Now remember, Far Valley View won this one last year when it was down in Far. I believe they will win again in Laredo this year. Weslaco will go to Alice to take on the Coyotes there, and I believe that Weslaco will start the year 2-0 with a victory there. On Saturday, 2 games. It is PSJ Memorial at Brownsville Lopez. I've got the Wolverines with some momentum after last week's almost win over Mac High. They came so close. I've got them getting their first win of the year at Brownsville Lopez. And Corpus Christi Carroll is at Harlingen, and the Harlingen Cardinals will win this game at Bogus Stadium, their first of many in 2011. Those are your picks for Week 1 of the high school football season in the Rio Grande Valley. I'm Clay Williams. We'll see you right back here next week.